You know, where I live, it's as though the neighbors get together and they go, "Hey, man, you gonna use your power tools today?" No, I'm gonna just hope for some quiet. All right, well, I'm gonna use all of mine. All right,
Let's use them all at the same time.
hey, man, what day does your gardener come with the leaf blower? Monday. Oh, cool. I'll make sure mine comes Tuesday. Next door neighbor, you want to do Wednesday? Yeah, I'll take Thursday.
Classic.
Yo, my wife is so dope. She got it so that the whole block uses our gardeners. We moved into the neighborhood, and now everybody uses our gardeners. Except
So it's all in one day?
Except for one neighbor. There's that one neighbor that's being
so they
stubborn.
bang it out in one day is what you're saying?
Yeah, most of the stuff here is done in one day.
No, my neighborhood is like, which power tool is it going to be and how close is it going to be? We have so much to talk about. I don't even know how to begin with you.
Well, let's start from the beginning.
Okay. We got to kind of do like a power cycle through.
Okay,
Sure.
Jake Paul, Mike Tyson.
Oh, that's tomorrow. That's right.
Tomorrow night, Donald. I feel like we should
Time
watch it
stamping
together.
that for our audience.
It's going to be a big time fight.
Yes.
This is probably the biggest fight that shouldn't be the biggest fight in boxing history. Let's keep it 100.
But I feel like, you know what Jake Paul did that's so brilliant is I just realized this today. I was talking to my brother. It's kind of like he brought the WWE villain to boxing.
Yes. And it was needed because boxing was failing and UFC was taking over. And Jake Paul has proven, this is fact, you can get paid more on his card than you can on a UFC card.
But I don't know anything about this guy other than my body wants to dislike him. And I think that it's WWE villain energy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this dude's
The heel.
as big.
The heel.
I don't think this dude's as big of an asshole as he is portraying.
It has to be a character.
It is a character, and he and his brother.
Daniel's squinting as though he doesn't believe it's a character.
Because Daniel can't take the fact that this dude is getting mad freaking money playing the villain. I think that's what that is. Daniel hates his policies. Daniel hates.
Go on.
See, I told you.
No, I honestly don't know much about him, but every time I see him, I find him annoying. And
Go ahead.
I'm assuming, right? That's his name, Jake Paul.
Jake
and
Paul.
then I watched the WWE, the documentary about what's his name, the founder of
Vince
WWE.
McMahon.
Yes, I watched the Vince McMahon documentary, which is great. I recommend it. And I went, oh, this is what he's doing. He's playing the heel, horrible jerk, but in boxing.
Yeah.
And he's going to make $1 zillion off of it.
He's going to make more money than Mike Tyson's going to make.
Now, who's going to win, Donald? Are they really going to fight or are they going to hug each other for the whole time?
I think they're going to fight. I want to say Mike Tyson's going to win, but I don't think Jake Paul is one of those smart guys who puts himself in a situation where he can win, where the chances of him winning are very high.
Daniel, who do you think's going to win?
Like you can't. Let me finish. I cannot lie. That boy knows how to fight.
Yeah, he got good, right?
Don't get it twisted. Any of y'all out there that says he can't fight, y'all are out of your mind. He will fuck you up. Is he Mike Tyson tough? We about to find out.
Daniel, your thoughts? Tyson is like 60.
Yeah. I think Jake Paul is going to win just because of how things have been going around here. But I would like to say on the record that I think the Paul brothers are a blight on the society.
Okay. Daniel, do you believe they are heels?
Very much so.
Joel, do you have any thoughts on Tyson Paul?
Good luck, Tyson, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. There we go.
Straight up, man. Like, that's what it is, man. Like, I'd like to see him win.
All right. Next topic. Donald and
I'd
I
like to have him on the podcast. I'm just scared I'll say some dumb shit, to be honest with you. And
Mike Tyson?
Which one?
Mike Tyson.
Tyson, by the way, I'm not going to repeat some of the shit he said, but he's been saying some crazy stuff.
Yeah, he said some really, really nutty stuff.
Yeah. I don't think I want to talk about what he said.
No.
Do you,
No.
Donald and I are headed back to F1 in Vegas. We just learned.
We're going.
That'll be fun.
Yes, for T-Mobile.
We're excited.
Nice.
I'm going to get Gucci again.
Yeah, you're going to have to wear some Gucci. Maybe you'll see Brad Pitt, our friend from a year ago again.
If I see Brad Pitt this time, I'm taking that selfie.
No,
fucker.
don't you take a selfie with Brad Pitt.
You
We
fucker,
laid the
I'm taking that
foundation.
selfie.
Last year
I'm
was the
taking that
foundation.
selfie. I'm taking that selfie.
Last year was the foundation. We've spent a year in Brad Pitt's mind. He's had a year's time to think about us.
He's thought about us a lot too.
Yeah, I bet he has.
I bet he's thought about us quite a bit.
I bet he's thought about us a whole lot more than any of his projects.
I'll go out on a limb and say this is one of his favorite podcasts. You
Yes.
heard it here.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt loves the Fake Doctors, Real Friends podcast. He's a big fan of Joel and Daniel, is what I've heard.
We love Brad Pitt. And then we hope that we see him in F1. Donald, this time we're going to play craps because I'm skilled now.
Yeah, baby. See, last time we went, we didn't gamble very much. We went to the F1 festivities all night long.
Yes.
And we gambled for maybe like 20 minutes here.
Yeah.
Now
I'm a craps expert.
Zach has learned how to play that game of craps, and I know he can't wait to get to Vegas and freaking throw them dice.
I'm ready. Okay. The other topic I wanted to talk about was I finally like a DC something. I finished Penguin. It's incredible.
Nice.
That last episode is a doozy. Oh
It's
my
so
God.
good. And there's no spoilers here, Joelle.
No.
But Donald, it's a funny position I find myself in because I'm watching a DC thing and begging
Yes.
you to watch it.
I've began the Penguin. I
That
find it
Colin
a
Farrell.
I
is
find it
very
a
good-
little slow, but
yes,
I feel like
it's not. It is slow.
I feel like at the end there's going to be some sort of payoff. Hopefully, the Batman.
The acting is very good. I will say that Colin Farrell. I just think he's such a fine actor, and he under like 3.5 hours worth of prosthetics
Daily.
Daily. That's how long it takes to get it on. And by the way, shout out to the prosthetics team. It is flawless. You just can't see anything. It's so well done.
It doesn't even look like him, even in the freaking pictures in the light. In the light.
He looks like Tony Soprano.
He looks scarier than Tony Soprano. Tony Soprano had, he was a big guy, but he had a nice face. The Penguin's face is like, oh my God, if I ran into him in an alley, I'd be like, fuck, dude.
It's
You're
also
the,
just really
you're the guy
impressive
that's
how
going
they
to kill
do
me right now.
The production design, how they do Gotham. I ended up searching where they shoot it, and they shot a lot of it in New York City, and it just looks really good. It doesn't look cheap. It's really well made.
I always thought Chicago was Gotham and Metropolis was New York, but
I think Gotham is New York.
I think Gotham is Chicago, bro.
Gotham,
Well, I
Chicago,
think-
and Christopher Nolan's film. He used it as the basis. And there's a lot of Art Deco stuff, which is, often used, but there's also a lot of Art Deco stuff in New York. The way I've heard it described is that Metropolis is supposed to be New York and Gotham is New Jersey. That's controversial, but it's what I've heard. In the
I
past.
like
disagree
that.
with that.
I like
But
that.
Zach
Joelle.
loves
Thank you.
that. Zach
I like
loves
that.
that.
Well,
And then
there's
where's
not a lot of
Star
New-
City?
There's not a lot of New Jersey in Penguin, but great acting. The woman, her name is what? Joelle?
Krista Melody. I think, let me double check really quick.
Krista Melody. I haven't seen her before.
Oh,
I
you're
don't
talking about
think.
Krista. I haven't seen her in much either, but she's for some reason all in my algorithm right now.
Yeah, I know why she's on your algorithm because you're clicking on her.
I keep
Krista
clicking on it. Every time
Yeah,
she
you do.
pops up, I'm like, who is this?
Yeah,
Who
you
is
are.
this?
Fantastic. She's
Who
the mom in
is
How I
this?
Met Your
She's-
Mother.
That's where
Oh.
she's
Which I think
from.
where a lot of people first maybe ran into her,
Uh-huh.
but she's sensational.
She was in the Andy Samberg movie that was popular, right, in Palm Springs. That one.
Hmm. Correct.
Oh, that was her. Oh,
That's her, right?
I love Palm
Mhm.
Springs.
But I don't think I've ever seen her outside of that movie. Anyway, she's
Well,
wonderful.
she's about to be the big star of.
Well, yeah.
she's gonna have a huge part in the Batman, and
Oh,
she's gonna
really?
have a. I mean, come on, bro.
Is that character? Sorry for not knowing this. Is that character known in the comics?
Yes.
Yeah, she's a crazy person in the comics too,
Well,
and
she was
winds,
in the show.
winds up getting powers. Also, doesn't she wind up getting powers in the comics?
She's a serial killer in the comics,
Yeah.
along with her
Joel, you're
brother.
using a very NPR voice today. Can you
Hmm.
switch it to fake doctors, real friend? please?
Okay.
She's a- So, well, we're bringing all this energy, and you're like, she's a serial killer in the
I'm coming in with the
News
fact
today.
checks,
in lower Manhattan. There's a little traffic jam at the Holland Tunnel. And it spends about 30 minutes at the Lincoln. Ding, 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 ding.
All right.
I've been at EP meetings all morning.
What was the news network? 1010 Wins.
Yeah,
Do you remember
1010 wins. My father listened to that shit every
Oh
morning.
my God! You give us
You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the
we'll
world.
Give you the world. Yeah,
that's some
it.
East Coast shit right there. That's tri-state area. 10 wins. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
We'll give you the world. We'll give you the world. I remember
Yeah, Donald, that's that's Jersey, Manhattan.
Yeah,
wait, okay, so she's really good. And also the young Hispanic kid is fantastic. And I'd never seen him before.
He's wonderful.
So-
He's also in Donald, I don't know if you saw The Runaways. Renzi Feliz is his name. He's also in The Runaways, but he's sensational. I got to interview him for X-Ray Vision. And he's so adorable and very sweet. And
How
I hope
old
gets
is he?
more
He's
roles.
fantastic.
Gosh, Renzi, he's got to be like in his early 20s, I think.
Early 20s.
He's
yeah.
27.
Who's he playing on the show?
He plays Vic,
sort of the penguin sidekick, the sort of his right-hand man.
Yeah, man.
And he's wonderful. He's a really good actor.
I'm
okay.
Does the dude ever pull out the umbrella and fly with the shit or shoot guns from the umbrella? Like, does this happen in the
You get a
Penguin?
costume reveal.
Yeah,
I'll
well,
give you
no
that.
spoilers. But
That's not a
No,
spoiler.
it's not a spoiler.
There's some costume reveal elements at some point in the show.
You get a sense that with the costume reveal elements that kind of stuff could be coming season 2. And Colin Farrell said he's open to season 2. There's got to be
that's
season
good.
2. I'm sure it's
Well,
a big ass hit.
I mean, look, if they make a villains Legion of Doom type television show where or Gotham's Baddest, where the Joker, the Penguin, freaking Poison Ivy, Catwoman, Falcone's sister, where they make all of these cats in a television show that's good, I'm fucking watching. I will absolutely watch
Well,
that.
I think you'll like this a
if
lot.
they can figure out a way to make Mr. Freeze happen in this universe, I'm fucking watching, bro. Because that's something that's really cool. Because this Batman is so grounded. It's a little too grounded for me.
Okay.
But that's just me, That's
It
just
is sort
me.
of like a mob show. That's what it feels like. There's not a lot of supernatural elements. And I know you like supernatural elements.
I like fantasy. I like that.
No one flies. Okay.
Right. And this is the world where a Superman does exist, though, right?
Right. But they don't, this is all about the sort of,
Okay. So, okay.
We don't know
Talk to me.
because the Reedverse hasn't touched what Gunn is doing. So Gunn is releasing a Superman, but I don't think it's going to be overlap for these universes. I think they're going to keep them separate. So I don't know if we'll see a Superman flying around Gotham.
So the closest thing that we'll ever see to Batman vs. Superman is the Batman vs. Superman movie that.
At least for now.
okay. Wicked coming out. I've got a seat. I don't know if you want to come with me on Thursday, Donald.
How did you get this seat? How did you get that seat?
Well, my friend Amanda Klutz reached out to me and said, would you like to come see it with Elvis and I? And I thought to myself, Donald's never actually going to go to the theater. Yes,
Are
Amanda.
you fucking on crack? I want to go.
Well, you can join us. We're going Thursday at 3.
I got
A
kids,
week,
man.
a week from today. at
I
3.
got kids that get out of school at 3.
Oh, take them shits out early.
They want to see this shit bad. I know my daughter does. My son's like,
I'm going to see.
but my daughter's like, I can't
I'm going to
wait.
see Wicked and Gladiator 2.
Are you going to see the double
Did you hear
feature?
Denzel came out and said that they cut his gay kiss from Gladiator
Why are we
2?
being robbed? It's cruel.
Look,
It's cruel is what it is.
Look,
Give the
Denzel
gays
called
what
everybody
they
out.
want.
Denzel said, he goes, I did a full gay kiss with a man and they cut it. I guess the people weren't ready or something like that, he said.
That sucks.
It's taken his whole career for that to happen. Can you
Well,
name
I'm still-
a
I
movie
will
where
still-
Denzel Washington has kissed another man?
I will
I
still be
can't.
seated. I will still be seated, Don. Even though the people aren't ready.
Can you name a movie where Denzel Washington was gay?
No. I was watching
I don't
Philadelphia the other day, though. He's pretty great in that. Pretty spectacular.
He's amazing in it, but he plays a very homophobic lawyer in that movie too. Though.
Yeah, but he has a whole change at the end. It's
Yeah, towards the end, yeah. Yeah,
Spoilers.
no doubt.
Spoilers.
He's over 20 years old.
All right.
I mean, when Tom Hanks has AIDS,
Spoilers.
I know, my bad.
Spoilers.
My bad.
How did you get that for the trailer?
All right. What else do we want to talk about real quick? We got 1 minute before we let
right.
Charlotte Lawrence in. Go.
We should probably talk about the climate of sports right now and how the New York Knicks are not what they said they were. They're not what they said.
I don't
Let's
want to
have a
talk about that.
conversation.
I don't
I
want
do.
to talk about that.
I
Should I
do.
go? I got invited to go to the Clippers game on Sunday and sit courtside. Should I do that?
Go.
You
Fuck
should
yeah.
definitely
Go.
do. It's like the best
They're
stadium in
playing
the
the-
league.
Absolutely.
They're playing the Utah Jazz. Have you heard of them? That's a team.
Yeah, dude, you can
Utah
freaking-
Jazz.
Whatever team it is.
Dude, you could just be like, I want food, and somehow the stadium knows that you want food, bro.
Really? All
Yeah,
right.
man.
They have like
they have
controllers
a
next to the
thing.
seats, right? Where you can play on
Yeah.
the screen. If it buzzes,
Mhm.
bruh,
I'm
I'm
gonna
buying
have
tickets to the
to-
Clipper
I'm
Stadium.
gonna have to stay interested and really focus because I might be on camera.
The
This might be
stadium
the
is the
best.
reason to go.
This might be
It's
the
nuts,
number
yeah.
one. Yeah, that might be the number one reason to go is the stadium, though.
Mhm.
And like this is
Okay.
something that
Looks nuts.
and nobody's experienced anything like this before. It has cameras everywhere.
All right.
You are identified as soon as you walk in. You don't
Oh,
have to
shit.
go to a
Where is it?
freaking. I think
It's downtown.
in Inglewood,
it's,
right?
it's yeah.
Or
It's near
downtown?
the it's near the Forum.
All
It's
right.
like
We
across
don't have a lot
the
of
street.
time. Well, go ahead.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go. You convinced me. I'm gonna text back the person who texted me and said yes, I'm in
Do that.
because my whole podcast posse wants me to go.
Mr. Ballmer, I will be there.
Do you want to go? Should we watch Jake Paul and Tyson together tomorrow night, Donald?
I'm down to watch that.
I mean,
I'm
I know
down.
I'll have to come to you because
I would love for you to come here.
Reasons,
you can hang out
but
in this room with me.
Really,
We can sit on this.
I
big
think it might be
blue-
fun to watch with you.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fight.
Okay, but to see what happens with
It would, it would be amazing if Mike Tyson of old shows up. That would be amazing. But this dude is 60 years
Sure
old.
would.
yeah, he's
bro.
old. That's old. That's slow. His brain can't be that good after all that punching.
And Jake Paul is early 30s.
I hope they do like they break it up and all of a sudden Mr. T comes out.
That would be fun. I would love that.
Mr. T or Clubber Lang.
We should get Mr. T on the podcast.
Oh, that'd be the
Joel.
best
I'd
day
love to
ever.
ask him about
I'll
the
ask.
A-Team. Yeah, please.
Hell yeah.
The A-Team, freaking Rocky 3,
Yeah. Nancy
Mr.
Reagan.
T the cartoon,
Mm.
the time
cereal,
Arnold Jackson dressed
cereal.
up as him,
the cereal.
Mr. T cereal.
I just want him to say, "I pity the fool."
Yeah.
You talked about Mr. T on one of your first talk shows, actually. You talked about how you and I met Mr. T and how I was mad because you were calling him T. And I was like, yo, respect his ass and call him Mr. T.
So funny.
We met some crazy people. Actually, 1 year ago, we hung out with Flava Flav at F1.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
Oh,
did.
Flav? Flav was at
Flava
F1?
Flav.
But that's what we did when we saw him. Flavor Flav.
He was
very
geeked to
happy
meet
about
us.
it. Yeah, he was very happy
he was
about it.
he was the geeked level to meet us that we wanted Brad Pitt to be.
Yes.
There you go.
He would,
Brad
you
Pitt
go.
did not bring the Flava Flav energy.
no, he did
Brad Pitt
not.
brought the Joel at the beginning of the podcast energy.
Hey, it's very nice to meet you
Nice
guys.
to meet you guys. I'm a big fan of your work. Brad Pitt. Don't bother
That's
me.
funny.
I had this scan that I think you should get, Donald, and I don't mean to give them a shout out because we're not advertising them. Although Joel, you should get them as our advertiser.
Listening.
It's called
You got a full body scan.
It's called Prenuvo, and it's a full body
Ooh.
scan
Mm.
just to see if anything's cooking in your body. And I know that you're a hypochondriac, and I
Actually,
thought
I'm on my way. The reason why I have a hard out is because I'm going to get my heart checked.
okay,
with
well,
the-
I know this
with the
is really
same
good
type
for
of machine.
hypochondriacs because they're going to scan every nook and cranny from your scalp down through your bowel to your big
Ooh.
toe. And you sit in there for an hour, and they ask you what you want to watch on Netflix.
And see, the thing that scares me is to find something cooking and having to change my life. But I feel like
But
it's
wouldn't you
definitely
rather
worth
know
it.
something cooking?
Now instead of later. Absolutely. When it's fucking
Well, you get this full
full-blown.
report, and they told me like, look, it could be up to 2 weeks. So I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I'm just not going to think about it. About 2 days later, I get a text from my doctor's office. The doctor would like to speak to you about your scan.
Yeah, you told us that.
I told you that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm repeating a story. But anyway, I freaked out for about 25 minutes until he told me, like, no, I just wanted to go over it with you. You're fine.
Ugh.
But then you get this big packet, and it's just really cool. You go through it, and it's like it notices anything. Like I fell on my shoulder years ago. It noticed like degeneration in my shoulder socket. Like it's that specific.
Wow.
But you know that you don't have any little
Or you know that you do.
or then you know that you do, but you know early.
hmm
I just thought you and Casey should get that shit.
I'm going to get my heart checked today, bro.
Well,
Like-
ask your doctor about getting a full body scan. because I'm your doctor. By the way, did you see the fucking NBC medical comedy show that's like a it's like a Scrubs? It's like a new Scrubs.
I guess NBC doesn't want the Scrubs reboot.
Well, they don't get the Scrubs reboot. ABC's going to get the Scrubs reboot if and when it happens.
So they're trying to combat the fact that.
Did you guys see the trailer for that? It's pretty funny
Yeah.
that it's. I don't mean to say the show's funny. It's pretty funny. It's sort of like someone was like, "What if The Office and Scrubs were one show?" And there's like a Turk. What's his name? Plays you.
David Allen Greer.
David Allen Greer plays Turk. There's definitely a JD, but he's a
There's
nurse.
a JD.
Did you see the nurse?
Yeah.
He has my hair.
He even has the hair.
Dude, on the
He even has
audition, they were like, let's just, they must have said, like, let's just be honest. It's JD.
It's a Zach Braff type.
It's a Zach Braff when he was young, JD type. But the twist is he's a nurse. But he's got bedhead and he's in over his head. Don't worry.
He's going to be in over his head.
What's it called? Saint Denis?
St.
Denis?
Denis Medical.
Yeah.
Might be
well,
St.
when-
Denis.
Did anybody watch it?
I don't think it's out yet, but I just saw the trailer.
It is out. It came on yesterday or something like
Okay.
that, didn't it?
Is it out, Joel?
I think it came on yesterday.
Well, audience, you got to watch that because, I mean, you don't have to watch the show, but you have to watch it and see David Allen Greer being Donald.
Don't be sending them to watch Saint Denis.
I know. Don't watch it now, Daniel. Oh, you're saying don't send our audience to watch it?
Hell no, man. This is a Scrub podcast, man.
I'm not worried about them watching
That's
it.
like sending them to watch Grey's Anatomy or ER.
I don't care. I'm not worried about it. I wish everyone luck, and I hope it's a smash hit. I just thought it was
Right
funny
on.
that
It definitely looks like it definitely has a color tone of Scrubs.
No, but they're doing like that Office interview shtick where like they talk to the camera. It's like, I mean, it's like as though they're doing a documentary about this hospital. So they sort of combine The Office with Scrubs.
Yeah.
I mean, they
What was
clearly
Modern
went to,
Family?
they
Modern
clearly-
Family is the same thing, right?
They clearly went to someone and was like, make a Scrubs meets The Office show.
Yeah.
By the way, I was talking to Crazy Sarah Chalk today, and I told you how she does this thing where she whispers, right? Anytime she's loud,
yeah.
she's loud and silly and Sarah.
Until it gets serious.
And then anytime that turns serious, she whispers, and she's on the phone with me, right? And it's not like anyone's in her house eavesdropping, or even if they were, they'd give a fuck. But she's like, laugh, 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 funny story, funny story. Okay, I have a business question for you. So do you think, I'm like, why are you whispering? Why are you whispering on the phone? Who are you worried is going to hear?
Yo,
She does it all the time. You're in a room with her and she's like being silly, like doing characters. And she's like, did you guys hear about Cindy? Oh,
yo,
yeah. She
Casey
said-
just said this shit. Casey just said this shit to me like the other day. She was like, Sarah, I love her. I love her to death. When she gets serious,
Yeah.
she gets real quiet though.
Yeah, and you
She
can't
gets
hear
like-
You can't hear.
And so
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
the other night.
Yeah.
That's why, I think that's why all of the Gudge stories, all of the crazy shit that happens to her, were always like, "You're never gonna believe what happened to me.
Yeah.
It was me. I was on Gudge." And
Yeah. But I see her doing. We were hanging out in Montauk and we're like in a room full of people. Everyone's laughing, everyone's talking, everyone's drinking, everyone's being social. And then all of a sudden you see Sarah turn to the person next to her. She's like, do you know about my father? Yes, Dan.
Charlotte's here.
All right, invite Charlotte Lawrence in.
5, 6,
Here's
7,
some
8.
stories about a show we made about a bunch of docs and nurses and a janitor who loved to hate. I said he's got stories that you all should know. So gather round to hear our Scrubs Rewatch show with Zach and Donald.
Yay!
Charlotte Lawrence.
Hey,
Charlotte Lawrence.
there she is.
Wait, I miss you.
Charlotte,
Miss
this
you,
is
Charlotte.
Joelle and Daniel. Have you ever met them? You probably
Hi,
haven't.
Charlotte.
Yes, yes.
Hi, Joelle and Dan.
Hi, nice
Hi,
to meet you.
Charlotte.
Charlotte,
Love you.
finally, we have you on the podcast.
Oh my God. Should I cry?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you have
Oh my
earphones?
God.
Go to
Do you have-
tears now.
Wait, do you have earphones in, Charlotte?
What'd you say?
Do you have earphones in?
Do you have headphones?
No. Is that going to be a problem?
Yeah,
Do you
we
have
need
headphones that we can grab?
Yeah, she's in a music studio. Charlotte, I've been in your house and there's a lot of musical gear. There's a lot of headphones.
I'm looking everywhere. In the meantime, what's up, you guys? Do you want to come over for a sauna after this?
See? I'm getting my heart checked today. After I get my heart checked, I'm down to jump in the sauna. I hear it's not necessarily good if you've got a bad heart.
That's not true. Sauna is amazing.
I
for
think
you.
it's
Not
good
sauna,
for your heart.
the cold plunge I meant. No, I
Yeah.
don't know, man. I don't know,
By the way,
man.
Casey told me you were thinking about getting a cold plunge without a sauna. You don't want to
No,
do that.
I
you don't
wasn't
want to do
thinking.
that.
She was thinking of that.
Well, you're not going to want to get in the cold water without getting heated up.
and
I
hate
agree.
cold water.
You don't want a cold plunge without the sauna. I
Yeah,
found
because you get
headphones, but no dongle.
Do they work?
They don't have a dongle. 1 second.
What's a dungu?
What's a dongle?
It's
She has
just-
The
a
thing that
more
like
contemporary-
attaches.
Yeah.
The thing that like attaches.
Charlotte,
to
my
your
opening
iPhone.
to introduce you was to talk about how impressed I am with how you have all your shit together. But I think I'm going to change it.
I do have my shit together. I didn't know that you needed headphones. I'm like, we really don't have headphones here.
I'm surprised there's not
You
a
know,
loose pair of
because-
AirPods hanging
Why
around.
don't you have AirPods in your house? Or what about a
Because we-
desktop computer that you could call us from and plug in like real headphones?
Or that?
Okay. Oh my lord. Yeah, wait. Talk about how I have my shit together.
All right.
Okay,
So Charlotte
I've
really has
known
her
this
shit together.
girl. I've
Yeah.
known this young lady since she was born.
Look,
pretty
You know
I
what
just
I
found
was
a
think-
Rolling Stones butt plug.
Oh my God. That is a
That
lot of
is-
information.
We are keeping that in the
Not-
video.
And
That
that
is
is,
not
I guess,
hers.
yes.
Audience, that is not hers.
Why would
No,
there
I
be a
just saw
Rolling
it for the
Stone?
first time,
Why
That
would there be a
belongs to
Rolling
a-
Stones butt plug in our house? Whose would it be, Donald?
but I can't find AirPods.
I would check in
Audience,
a
that's
different.
not her
Let's
butt
check a
plug.
different drawer, maybe. Donald, I was realizing before Charlotte came on and ruined the show that we've met. I met Charlotte the same day I met you.
Yeah, we met. We didn't meet her though.
Yeah, I think she was being carried around at some point.
She was sleeping.
She didn't sleep the whole time. I feel like there was.
I know because we woke her up with the laughter.
Right, but I'm
I
telling
did, and
you
then Krista
that
yelled at
I
you
met
guys.
Charlotte the same day I met you.
I'll agree with that.
Our friendship has lasted the exact amount of time that I've known Charlotte Lawrence. That we've
Charlotte
That
known
is
Charlotte
crazy.
That we have known Sharbar Lawrence.
I was thinking today about Charlotte and how things could have really gone awry with you. And, you know, you grew up in this very successful family in Hollywood, and you could have really become a disaster. And it's amazing how many amazing things are happening in your life right now. And I'm very proud of you as your
I
pseudo
love
uncle.
you. That's so sweet.
Donald and I have known you since you were born. We met the very day that we met. You were a baby, and it's just so crazy to look at you and know that we've known you your entire life.
And all of the good things that are happening in your life also. That's what's really amazing.
Thanks,
Zach's-
Donald. Thanks, Zach.
But Zach, he said it in the thing. You could have went the wrong way.
Right.
And it was
And for a moment, I thought she was gonna go the wrong way because she was
never.
Well, no, she was partying like all kids party, but she were sort of sneaking out of the house at 16 and going to the club.
Yeah,
And
but I got it out of my system so that now in my 20s I can focus on work and being a grown up and responsible.
Yeah, well, I'll never forget when Evan Ross, who is your cousin or brother
My
now.
uncle in a
Your-
weird way.
Yeah. He says to me, yo, I was out the other night at a club and Charlotte was there. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I was
How-
like, no.
And,
This was a
and
while ago.
she was
I
like
used
16.
to run into
She was
Evan
like
and go, please don't tell
16.
my parents.
Yeah,
Please don't tell my
16.
parents. He was like,
I used to be like, dude, you got to tell her to go home, bro. He's like, she's a freaking, I can't tell her to go home.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
but now, so let's walk the audience through it who don't. For those of you who are confused at all, Charlotte Lawrence is the child of Bill Lawrence and Krista Miller. And her career is just on fuego right now. That's why she's
Thanks,
joining us. She's
Zachy.
not joining us because she's the child of those two. She's joining us because her career is on fire. She is the star with Vince Vaughn of Bad Monkey on Apple TV. And Charlotte, I didn't know what to expect. I got to be honest. I was like, I knew that Bill wouldn't have cast you if you were horrible because he wouldn't sabotage his own show. But you were really fantastic on the show.
Thank you.
You genuinely were.
Thank you. So were you. You were fantastic. I remember, you'll laugh at this. There's a whole thing of how I even got the role to begin with. And obviously it came down to, I'm very blessed and very lucky. And my father is like running the show, running the ship. So I understand that. But I definitely, it was very fun because I snuck in a self-tape without his knowledge. And I was just like, please just like put it in like the top 20 and like just give it to the casting director, but tell him it's like important to watch. Like make them watch it. Don't let it get lost, but like just slip it in. And I got a call from my dad like 2 weeks later in the writer's room just going, what the fuck? Like, what? Like, what? Why didn't you tell me about this? Like, oh, I'm so embarrassed, blah, blah. And I was like, ha, 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 ha. Like, are you going to give me the part now? Anyways, he did. And it was a really crazy process to get it. He was like, okay, well, first of all, do you really actually want to do this? And I was like, yes, I really, really, really want to do this. He was like, no, like hilarious. Like we're not playing games here. Do you actually really want to do this? Because if you say yes, this has to be your only priority for the next 2 years. It has to be the only thing that matters. And you have to work harder than everybody else on set. And I was like, okay, yes, I promise. I will immediately get into classes. I'll work with a coach. I'll be more prepared than anybody. I will make it my only priority. He was like, okay, number 2, we have to prove you to Apple because you're my daughter. They're going to think I'm just hiring you because you're my daughter. You have to do 100 tapes for Apple to like prove to them that you can actually do it. And I was like, okay, I'm in. We did 1 million freaking tapes of every emotion and every scene and blah, blah, blah. And they were like, okay, we okay her. And then thirdly, he was like, and here's the thing. This is my TV show, and I'm not about to ruin my TV show. If we finish filming and I look at your scenes and you're bad, I'm cutting you out and you're not going to be in the show. And I was like, okay. And he was like, I'm serious. Like, I'm not going to ruin my show for you. Like, work really hard, try really hard, but know right now, have your expectations managed because if you're not good, you're out. And I was like, okay, thank you. And it put this level of like, of drive and challenge in me that I was like, oh my God, I need to kill this. And it's all I want more than anything in the world. And on top of that, it was so much fun and exciting. And I got to work with the best people, Zach being one of them. But yeah, it was a really fun, crazy experience. And I really think it instilled like such a, I mean, I've had this like work ethic since I've been a kid. I love to work. I love everything about it, especially like in this industry. I just love performing and all the things. But it was really crazy. It was scary in a really fun way because I was like, if I don't succeed at this, I'll be cut out of it. Like there wasn't any sort of middle ground. So.
And he does cut people out. I've seen it happen.
I was about to say, that's not a lie.
Well, and on that show, I don't know if this is out in the open, but I'll break it here. People were replaced and recast. And so he meant it. He wasn't fucking around because that was a big show.
He was not fucking around. He was like, you are not ruining my show. He also has loved Carl Hiaasen since he's been a kid and has been like a desperate girl with Carl Hiaasen being like, please, 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 like, please let me make it into a show. Please let me buy Reds, please. Like for 20 years I don't know how fucking long, like 10 years, has been obsessed with him begging. So he was like, this is my one chance to make this show good. Like you are not going to come around and ruin it.
My 2 cents on the Nepo baby thing, and I saw you on like Haley Bieber's podcast once, and I thought you spoke really eloquently on it. And I think that's hard because there's a burden on you to be like, why do you deserve this? But yeah. I really feel like when 2 super talented people make a child, there are very increased odds that the child is going to have talent. And there's so many of these young people. I was thinking of this before you came on. I was thinking about how amazing Maya Hawke is and how amazing Maude Apatow is. And, you know, obviously all of the examples throughout history.
Denzel's son.
Yes. But I'm just saying, and we could go on naming example after example. Those were just the 2 that came to my mind this morning. But I was like, there's the odds of like 2 beautiful, talented people making a talented child do increase that the child is going to have that ability, right, Donald?
I agree. I don't think there's anything wrong with nepotism. I think that's fine. I think, you know, if I build a company, if I build a brand and I want to pass it on to my youth, to my kids, or if I want to pass it on to somebody who I raise, I don't think I should be faulted for that. And if the person is eager and willing to take over.
But they also have to be good.
Yeah, no doubt. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, who is anybody? It's everywhere. So to complain about it is ridiculous. It's everywhere. It's in
think-
politics. It's in freaking sports. It's in acting. It's
is
in
everywhere.
business.
I really believe that people have the right to be angry when somebody doesn't acknowledge that they have these opportunities and one-ups that 99% of the world don't. I understand that. Like when people get angry at nepotism kids that don't acknowledge their nepotism and are just like, no, I just got this job because I just got this job. And like, what are you talking about? I did it all myself and it's only me who got here. Like that, I understand that because it aggravates me as well. I think the whole thing about nepotism is you guys are right. Like I was born into this industry. I was born with genetic passions for it per se. And I was also born into a world of like actors and musicians and just creativity around me. And I came out of the womb singing and I wanted to perform. And it was just my love from when I was really young. But as I grew older, I very quickly understood that I had so many opportunities and one-ups that 99% of the world didn't have. Like I was able to go into these rooms with these musicians or these actors or directors or writers, whoever it may be, and no one else would have been able to be in those rooms at the age that I was in. And I feel so blessed that I had these advantages. But my opinion has always been, if I'm so passionate about it and I love it so much and I'm willing to really work my ass off, you know, at my passions, at these things, it would be dumb of me to not take advantage of the advantages given to me.
And most importantly, you have the talent. And I want to segue to music because I one of your songs, Charlotte, for those of you who don't know, is also an incredibly talented singer.
Thanks,
And
Evie.
one of your songs that I like the most, I just want to give the audience a little sample of now because this is one of my favorite bops.
Zach also, you guys, wait, before he even plays it,
Right.
side note, secret note, his favorite type of music is like
Girl
girl
pop?
pop, like
I do.
almost like sad girl pop.
Oh,
I
we
like
And it's
know.
sad girl
beautiful.
pop.
Every time I get into his car, it's like Lizzie McAlpine or
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Sabrina Carpenter, Chapel Roan is blasting. I'm like, you get it.
There's times when people get in my car and I'm embarrassed to be like, wait, don't look at my recent plates.
Be proud.
Does
Or
that-
the one Julian Casablancas Daft Punk song that we're obsessed with.
So kiss me like I'm heroin. Say you need me, make me feel alive again. Oh, I don't ever wanna know how it ends. Oh, I don't ever wanna know how it ends. Oh.
So that's a little bit of How It Ends by Charlotte Lawrence. Check out her music. It's so good. Now, Charlotte, you opened up for Madison Beer. Donald, do you know who that is? I knew her just as she's a very beautiful model, but she's
She's
got
one of
a
the most
huge,
beautiful people you've ever seen in your entire life.
Didn't
Right.
we run into her at the People's Choice Awards that day? And we were talking about Charlotte being on tour with her. Was that who we ran into?
I don't remember. I just know that I knew that she was
When
a
we were-
beautiful person model.
Yeah.
And then Charlotte told me that she also has this enormous
Massive music career.
music
She's
career.
so talented. She just got
Joelle
nominated
is
for a
nodding.
Grammy.
Joelle knows her.
Have
She
you
got
heard
nominated
another
for
one? It's my jam. I listen to it on repeat
Home to another one. It's
Yes.
so good.
all the time on
Um,
my repeat. It's such an earworm. It's amazing.
No, Zachy, I'll send you some songs of hers that you would love. Me knowing your style is like sad girl pop. I'll send
Mhm.
you a good playlist of hers. But she had a song this year called Make You Mine, which is a huge dance song. And it just got nominated for like pop dance record, best dance record or something.
Amazing.
She's so wonderful. She's also so lovely. And it's so rare to get to go on tour with like one of your best friends. She's not just like, oh, she's my bestie. Like she's one of my best friends, like my
Yeah.
closest friends for
So what was
10
touring
years.
like?
And,
What was your experience like going on a massive tour like that?
it was so much fun. It was so surreal because the whole crew that we were with, like my band and her band and everybody, all the audio people and lighting people and just everyone that like made this tour work, they were so fun and cool and insane. And we were just like, it was just like a 2-month-long party. Honestly, we had the best time ever. We were just like little kids again at sleepaway camp, just dancing and singing and laughing and drinking and just had the best time. And then to get to go on stage before one of my best friends, whose music I love, in front of all these like young girls with just like eyes wide open, eager to love and listen. It was so special. And it was so cool also by the end of the tour that like her fans would catch on to little moments of mine. Like I played a song called Somewhere that's unreleased, but at the end of it, I would always scream into the microphone and crazy play guitar and have a big ending. And at the end of the tour, everyone was like screaming along, like they like
That's
caught on
amazing.
to it. And it was
Awesome.
I
so
saw you.
cool.
I got to see. I went with her parents to see her at Radio City Music Hall, which was just insane.
that was insane.
I just felt so proud of you to watch
you,
you
Zachy.
playing this Radio City Music Hall, which was just crazy.
That was
um,
surreal.
We didn't stay for Madison. No offense to Madison, but we wanted to go on and celebrate with you. We wanted to go celebrate with you. But I'm sure Madison was amazing. Joelle would have
She's
been in the front row.
incredible.
Yeah.
She was magnificent. There's one funny little story about City Music Hall. I as you know, Zachy, have a very beautiful relationship with my grandparents. And I'm talking in this story specifically about my dad's parents.
Yeah.
And they're getting older, and my dad's dad is struggling a little bit. And it's just been hard on my dad and on the family. And it's just so important when we get to see him and love him and spend time with him. And they flew out to New York to see me at Radio City Music Hall. And I had this song called Body Bag in the middle of my set, which is like one of my most devastating songs, I would say, at least to me specifically. It's so personal, and it's hard for me to play still without getting emotional, tearing up, and I have to like bite my tongue, close my eyes, and just be like, I'm performing, stop, don't be a bitch, like just fucking sing the song. And it became a thing on this tour that every time I would play it, because it's just me on the piano alone, everyone would do flashlights.
Mm.
And Radio City Music Hall is huge, and it goes all the way up, and I'm playing Body Bag, and I look out into the crowd, and it looks like a sky full of stars, and it's immediately like a dagger to the heart, and it's so special, and I feel so happy, and I'm singing, and I look in the crowd, my eyes are scanning the crowd, and all I see is a million stars, and then my grandparents can't figure out how to do the flashlight, and it's on their face, so it's a sky full of stars, and then just my grandfather's face lit up in the middle of the crowd smiling.
He was lighting
and I
his own
literally was
face up.
the body
love it.
bag, like I couldn't. It'll make me tear up now thinking about it. I couldn't finish it. It was so precious. It was like it was like a movie that it's like the one spotlight on like
So
on my
funny.
grandpa.
Yeah, they're
But it
so
was really
sweet.
special. I'm so
We
happy.
gotta
Zachy
tell
came to that.
we gotta tell Donald and the audience the funniest story ever, which was the time that Olivia Rodrigo and you were thrown out of Johnny C. McKinley's
Yo,
house.
yeah. How did this happen?
So,
First of
It
all,
made me- it was
John
the
C.
funniest-
McGinley is a G for this. First of all,
It's one of
He's
the
hilarious.
funniest. It's
He's
one of the
perfect.
funniest.
I can
It's one of the funniest
preamble it,
fucking things I
Zachy.
can remember. I was in the bathtub last night thinking about like anecdotes for the podcast today, and I just started belly laughing thinking about
It's
the
so
time
funny.
Johnny C. evicted Olivia Rodrigo from
wait,
his
let's
house.
tell the story. I will precursor it, and Zachy, you can take the lead.
All right.
But
First of all,
we were
let me
living
just
in
say,
Malibu for the summer.
before you begin that this is before Olivia's album came out. I knew that she was a singer. but I
No.
didn't-
Her first album came out. It was
Her
before
album
the
was
second
out.
one came out.
Not Guts. Not Guts.
Not Guts, but like the whole
Okay.
first
freaking
album,
the whole
Sour, Driver's License, like
driver's
Okay, that one,
license, all
that
that
one,
shit.
that
Zachy,
one.
she was already the biggest
Okay.
artist in the world.
Okay, but I didn't. I knew her. Okay, let me just say from my point of view, I knew that of her driver's license song, but I didn't. I love Guts. You were just joking about how I love girly sad pop. I love that whole album.
I know
So she
you
hadn't.
do. You know
She
every
hadn't
song.
registered. She hadn't registered to me. I just knew
You hadn't
when she-
heard Betrayer yet?
Yeah, come
Bro,
on.
I'm just saying when she came
Bro.
over to the when she came over.
Traitor.
Traitor?
She has a
That's what I
million
meant.
hits on that first album.
All I'm saying is when she came over to the house, I knew she was a famous singer, but I didn't quite really fully understand how big. All right,
Yeah,
go ahead,
and her
Charlotte.
impact, especially on young women, already at this time was like
My
Mind-blowing.
daughter
so.
has a dance that she does to Traitor. You're still a traitor. All of that shit.
All right, go on,
Yeah,
Charlotte.
she's magnificent. Olivia's also like deserves every ounce of her
She's
fame.
the nicest.
She's the most
I
talented,
hope
nicest ever.
She seemed the time we spent with her, couldn't have been
She's
nicer.
so lovely. But anyways, we were living in Malibu for the summer. My family, and my family meaning also Zach, did not allow him to leave for the entire 3 months that we were staying there.
Yeah.
And I asked Olivia to come hang out, and I hadn't seen her in a while. I think she was like on tour or something. She just got back to LA. And Olivia came out to Malibu for a night. And we were having such a sweet night and just like being cozy and talking and sitting by the fire. And I remember earlier, my parents and Zach were like, we're going to Johnny C's house, which was next door to our house, like a walkable distance, for dinner. But you're not allowed because there's no kids allowed, even though I'm 24. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, Johnny
like, no
clarified
kids
that.
allowed.
Johnny clarified this is his birthday dinner, and he was going to have barbecue, and he kept saying over and over again, "No kids."
No
And,
kids.
and when he says kids, he includes Charlotte as a
Yeah, I'm in
24-year-old. She gets
I'm of the
lumped in
kids.
with the younger kids. No kids.
But he was so serious on it. And he was like, it's his birthday dinner, only adults, like 12 people. He's like, no kids. And my parents are never put down rules with me anymore because I'm 24. They 10 times throughout the day was like, don't come to Johnny C's.
Don't.
Like, he'll be really mad.
Because
It's-
everybody-
That's a
Everybody's
fucking
scared.
scene, dude.
No,
That's
but
a scene.
everybody's scared of Johnny C. I don't care
course.
what
Nobody
Bill,
wants that
Because
I
it's
scene.
Johnny C.
I don't care what
Nobody
Bill and
wants that
Krista
scene.
say. Everybody's afraid of Johnny C. 'cause
Agreed. And
he's-
also
Nobody wants that
to the
scene.
Scrubs fans, to everybody listening, with slight differences, Johnny C is his character in Scrubs. Like he's
Yes.
he's a hard motherfucker, and he's
Yeah.
the best, and he's the most
He's-
lovable person.
he's very
wonderful
lovable,
person,
but
he's
he-
terrifying.
yeah, I am as scared of him as JD was of Dr. Cox.
Yeah.
So
I know.
when he lays down the law, it's my birthday, it's my barbecue, no kids.
No kids.
have you also? I'll finish the story, but on a side note, have you told the story of the sauna rules yet?
I don't remember, but I have. Joelle says I have. Yeah.
You have.
So wait,
Okay.
let me just tell you. Let's just
Okay.
go back and forth. So then, then I'll let you tell your part after I tell this part. So then we all go over. Charlotte and Olivia Rodrigo and Bill's younger kids all stay at the house. The adults, meaning me, Krista, and Bill, go over to Johnny's.
The people in there over 30 years old.
Right, and we're all there. Now his kids are there. Obviously, it's his birthday party. He just didn't want anybody else's kids.
The kids weren't allowed at the table, though. The kids were inside.
That's true. He's got two young teenage girls, and they were inside. And who else was at the table? Do you remember, Charlotte? Was there somebody else?
John McEnroe
Oh, John McEnroe was
Oh
there.
my God, I can't
and
believe
Patty Smith.
Yeah.
Was Sean Penn
and-
there?
No, not at this gathering. So we're
No.
all sitting there, we're eating barbecue, and all of a sudden, I see something. I'm like, oh no! And I see Charlotte. I see Charlotte and Olivia Rodrigo heads jumping up over to look over the
Being like,
driveway
"Hey!"
fence. The driveway fence. And what did you say, Charlotte? I forgot.
We were like,
We're
hey,
hungry.
There's no Postmates in Malibu. Like, we're so hungry. Like, with our heads bouncing up, and like, hey, what's up?
And I'm like, in my heart, Donald, like no joke. I'm like, oh no, Johnny's not gonna like this at all.
This is not going to go over
He
well.
said no
I think
kids.
Johnny C out loud was like, fuck.
Yeah. He was like, and so then Johnny C didn't know what to do because I think Charlotte knew the gate code and so she just punched it in and the gate
Yeah, I
starts
did.
going, and I'm like, oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh no. So then Johnny doesn't know what to say. He has no idea or he just assumes this is just Charlotte's random friend. So not only did Charlotte
Another
come
kid.
over, not only did Charlotte come over, but she brought another kid. So she broke the rules twice. So then Johnny's
Doesn't
like,
he get pissed off? Like, didn't I tell you no kids?
Yeah.
I told you. Yeah.
so then Johnny goes, look, here's paper plates, but you can't sit at the grown-ups table. You got to sit over there.
No, he didn't even say that. He goes, make a plate and take it home. We were
Yeah.
like, okay.
So
And we
then,
made a plate and we wanted to eat a little bit. And I was like, please, Johnny C. He was like, fine, like go sit in the corner.
so
and we
fine, wait,
literally
no, wait,
shoved our face as quick as possible.
just as Charlotte and Olivia Rodrigo fill up their paper plates to go sit in the corner, Johnny C's daughter comes out and her face drops like, holy
Whoa.
shit, what is
What-
Olivia Rodrigo doing at our house?
Like High School Musical.
Like if
All of
like,
that stuff
like
is
if
on.
like if Jay-Z walked into your house, Donald.
Yeah, there'd be a moment of what the fuck
she
is
was
going
so
on here?
sweet. Billy, she like almost started crying, I think. Like it was so like, what
was
is going
shooketh.
on?
Yeah. Billy
And as
was
she's being like,
shooketh.
can I please talk to you and tell you how much you've affected me? Johnny was like, okay, girls, you gotta get up.
At this time, Johnny's like, no, at this point, Johnny's like, I don't understand what's going on. And we're like, John,
No, Johnny's like, leave. He still kicked us out. He didn't understand it.
he was like, I don't know who you are, but you still have to go.
He was like, I don't get what's happening,
I was
but it's
about-
like,
yeah.
you guys have.
He
You
was
guys have
like,
ran
for
your
some
limit.
reason, my daughter is lost
Yeah,
all
he was
ability
like-
to talk.
Yeah, he was like, all right, Billy
But
Grace,
you gotta go.
give her your compliments. Give her her compliments, but then take your paper plates and go.
I also remember when we were inside, this is just a random little tidbit. I went to grab, there was like 2 different things of ribs. One had less, one had a lot. And I went to grab the one that had less because they looked a little different. And he goes, not that one, that one. I was like, what? Like, he wouldn't let me get like the nice ribs.
You
Like,
can't have
he
the
wanted
good
us
ribs?
to have like the shitty leftovers. He was so bummed about it.
So then we left, and I remember I think we all came back and we played code names, right, Charlotte? We played some
Yes,
games.
but didn't Billy say something to Johnny C, being like, did you just kick Olivia Rodrigo out of our house? Like,
Yeah. By the way, I just was on Instagram Reels or one of those things, and I saw like her latest it was like a clip from her concert. It was huge. I don't know how big the fucking
yeah, she's
arena.
doing a massive tour right now.
Anyway,
Huge,
it was
huge,
like
huge.
this. It was like this giant crane move, whatever, that flew back to show 40,000 people. And I sent it to Johnny. I was like, "This is the girl you kicked out of your house."
I just saw her show at the Forum. It was so wonderful. I think she did like 5 nights there or something like that. And it was a 10 out of 10. And people, just these girls, like die for her. It was really awesome. It was so
Yeah,
cool to
well,
watch.
she's
It's
really
gotta
good.
be
I gotta
surreal.
say, she's incredible.
She's
real.
incredible. And
It's
so
gotta
lovely.
be surreal, Char, to get that feeling back from the audience when you start singing, and it's a vulnerable situation, and then out of nowhere, when they start to reciprocate the love and the energy, it's gotta be surreal, dude.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I've only experienced it on small scales compared to her, obviously. Like, I even in a room, though, of 200 people, having them sing your songs back to you and just love what you created out of something that was deeply painful, for me at least. I tend to write more about stuff that hurts. And watching these people relate to it and sing it back to me is such an indescribable feeling. And it's just like pure drugs. Like, it's so... And gratitude. It makes me want to cry. And it's really hard for me. I feel I cry the most when I feel like happy, I guess, or lucky or grateful or like empathetic or whatever it must be, versus like very sad about something. And I really have to, like, I've cried at so many shows. I really have to bite my tongue to not cry at these shows.
Wow.
And when I see like Olivia's show and I see these girls idolizing her and her music and singing these songs back to her and being so affected by the words that she wrote, the first part of me feels just so happy for her and so proud of her and almost like a big sister proud of her because I just have loved her for so long. And then secondly feels like, oh my God, I want this so badly. I want to be where
Yeah.
she is at the Forum and at Madison
Well,
Square Garden.
I think
and
you have a chance to have
sing
it
to
happen.
these girls.
Donald, do you have to go or do you have time for one more story?
I listen. If I'm late for this shit, I'm not gonna get.
All right,
this
we gotta
ring
go.
valid.
All right,
Okay?
we'll keep it for
wait,
next time.
can we for 1 second talk about how much fun we had in Vegas?
Yeah, we had a great time.
Dude,
in
I
Vegas.
really want to talk about this stuff. I really do. I fucking gotta go though. Or I'm
Okay.
gonna
Donald,
miss
do you
my
hate
appointment.
me? Do you want me to kill
Sure.
myself?
I'm going to get my heart checked.
You
in
know
a
when you say it
monitor.
3 times,
Do you have-
it makes it real.
3D.
So it's gonna happen now.
Do you have
No.
You have 5 minutes, Donald, or no?
5 minutes. Let's go.
Okay, Charlotte, can we tell the one about Elton John and calling him in Vegas?
So I don't drink, and I don't. I mean, I'll have like a drink on an occasion or a birthday or whatever, but I really don't drink, and I don't do any sort of drugs and I quit weed except for mushrooms. I will dabble in an occasional mushroom instead of drinking a little microdose. Have a
All
little
right,
fun.
Charlotte, we have 5 minutes, so speed it up. We got it.
Okay. We go to Vegas. It's me, my dad, my boyfriend, my mom, Zach, and Matt Tarsis and Kay Tarsis. Matt, who is one of my dad's writing partners and everything.
Yeah, writer on Scrubs
Scrubs.
and collaborating with Bill on the new Steve Carell show. Go ahead.
And on Bad Monkey, the whole shabam. And I took a shit ton of mushrooms to go see U2 at the Sphere.
As one
And I
does.
was high off of my rockers, okay?
As one does. Cut to Charlotte
one does.
wearing sunglasses in the casino.
At 3 in the morning.
Wait.
And Andrew gets a FaceTime call from Elton John, who is an avid FaceTimer. And when I say that, I mean 8 times a day FaceTimer. He's literally the best man of all time, and he loves the FaceTime.
And he's obsessed
And
with
he-
Andrew. He's obsessed with
And he's obsessed with Andrew and me, if I might add, because like I love him to death, and like we're also besties. Anyways, he says to Andrew, was like, "Oh, I want let me say hi to Charlotte." And I'm sitting there high off of my brain, sunglasses on, at this pizza place that everyone's eating pizza at. And I'm just like, I can't eat pizza, I can't eat pizza, I can't eat pizza. Like, I'm seeing demons and like rainbows. And Andrew gives me the phone, and it's Elton John. And everybody at the table, my parents and Matt Tarsis and everyone were like Elton John is on FaceTime? Like, this is crazy. And I just go, hi, my love you so, gotta go. Hang up on him. And Andrew goes, Charlotte, like, do you just hang up on Elton John? Like, what? Everyone was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, that was insane. I go, I'm too high for Elton right now. I can't do it. I go, cannot deal with Elton John right now. Too high.
I'd ever hear. I'm too high right now.
Wait, first of all, the way I heard the story was that you barked at Andrew the funniest sentence known to man. Babe, I am way too high to FaceTime with Elton John right now.
Yeah. It was to deal. I go, babe, I am way too high to deal with Elton John right now.
Look,
Or
we
just
had the
FaceTime
best
with-
time in Vegas. I want to go back to Vegas again. We said we were going to make it a quarterly thing.
We're going for
I know.
F1, Charlotte, if you want to come with us.
Yeah, I'm in. That was
Bring
the most fun
Andrew.
I've ever had.
Yeah, bring Andrew.
Bring Andrew.
We're
We
going
had a
And
lot of
Randy
fun with him
needs to
too.
come.
Yeah, we'll bring Randy. All right, we got to go because Donald needs to have his heart checked. Charlotte Lawrence, check out Bad Monkey. Check out her music on Spotify or Apple. Charlotte Lawrence, you're going to love everything about her. She's going to be a big star, and you're going to say, I heard about her first on Fake Doctors, Real Friends.
I love you.
Well, she's such a character, and she's so funny, and we didn't really have time to get into her life. But I have to say about her, I know the audience, you might be like, oh my God, this young woman's life is so crazy. But she's such a kind person. I mean, for a kid who grew up in Hollywood, obviously with wealthy parents, totally in the crazy scene, I'm just so impressed with her. She really kind of got partying out of her system early. And like you said, she barely drinks. She quit smoking weed. She was smoking cigarettes. She quit smoking cigarettes. She really has such a good head on her shoulders. And she lives this insane life because her boyfriend is one of the top music producers in the world. Her father is one of the top showrunners in the world. And so she has these insane stories and she just tosses them out. They're never like braggadocio. She's always like, she like sends me a still. She sent me a picture on my iPhone. Like, look, I'm playing backgammon with Mick Jagger. And it's not like bragging. It's not like she's bragging. She's like, holy shit, can you believe this is my life?
Right.
And she's just a really, really sweet person. And I genuinely believe she's got a lot of talent. So I'm not just saying that as her pseudo uncle. Check out her music. The song I was trying to play, Daniel was able to play it.
Yeah.
So the song you heard earlier was one of my favorites. Just check out her music if you like sad girl pop like me. That's it, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Here's some stories about a show we made about a bunch of